And we have started recording as well. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, welcome. Welcome to this session. Maybe we can give a few words about the options that you should have and the resources that are available for people joining this call, this webinar. At the bottom of your screen, you should see a chat, as well as a button that says resources. And this should give you access to some links that we have prepared for you, including the Processing Foundation website, some information about the PROS grant, an FAQ page, frequently asked questions, as well as a question and answer thread on the Processing Foundation forum. If you can find that, that's good. If you can't, let us know in the Q&A, which I hope you have access to. I can see reactions.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Should we have maybe like 2 more minutes for folks to trickle in?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I see thumbs up. So looks like things are working.
Yay, amazing.
Steph is saying the
Oh,
chat is disabled.
shall
Uh,
we enable the chat? Oh,
yes.
okay. All right. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. Is the chat enabled now? Can people type in the chat? Oh, yay, hello.
Looks like
Yes.
it.
Feel free to yeah, type in where you're tuning in from. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Toronto, Brussels, Berlin. Ooh,
Yeah, I see some
Denver, New
familiar
York,
names.
Pakistan, Brazil. Wow. Oh my God. Thank you all
Hey, Julian.
for joining.
Nice. Nice to see some familiar names in the chat. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get started shortly, and we'll start with Sonia reading the land acknowledgement as well as a short introduction of the Processing Foundation, and then I'll uh, take it away with some information about the grant specifically.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for our first info session for the PROS Software Development Grant. My name is Suhyun or Sonia Choi. I use they, them pronouns, and I am a program and communications coordinator for the Processing Foundation. So yeah, I will get us started by grounding us in our land and digital acknowledgements. So this was written by our team together, and I will kind of skim through some of it while helping us ground the space. So we have no physical location as a foundation. We work remotely in the lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Ohlone, Cheyenne, Arapaho, Lipan Apache, Lenape, and Canarsie peoples, as well as a neighborhood in Germany. We invite you to meditate on this digital fragmentation and infrastructure that lays its foundation through the global white capitalist, colonialist, and imperialist framework we live in today. Sorry, my dog is whining in the background. So we and our devices exist on stolen land. Our digital infrastructures exist globally through foundations of oppressive systems. We invite you to remember the labor and love of QT BIPOC, femme, elder, disabled, low-income healers, crafters, technologists, storytellers, and artists. We acknowledge the natural systems of the universe that inspire digital technology, but that producing, maintaining, and disposing of technology is extractive and appropriative. So we hope to give attention to, nourish, and co-evolve with life-affirming and celebrating forces that teach us the power of endurance as our plant, animal, earth, and human ancestors who have survived throughout the beginning of time. We acknowledge and honor the many native lands you are joining us from and invite you to this grounding by visiting native-land.ca. Um, yeah, and we encourage you to visit this website to be more involved and take action. And this acknowledgement can be adapted to fit anyone's needs in space holding and may be used without permission, but with credit. And this was inspired by the land and digital acknowledgements. This land and digital acknowledgements was inspired by Data and Society and the Disability Futures Digital Land Acknowledgements. Thank you so much for holding space for this grounding. And yeah, I will introduce you all to our foundation. So our Processing Foundation's mission is to promote software learning within the arts and artistic learning within tech fields, and to celebrate the diverse communities that make our fields vibrant, liberatory, and innovative. And we also believe that some of the most radical futures and innovative technologies are built by communities that have been marginalized by dominant tech. And we hope to support the self-determination of marginalized folks by providing time, space, and resources such as our PROS grant. Yay! Yeah, and you can take a deeper dive into our mission and land and digital acknowledgements on our website. You can find it under the resources tab on the Zoom. And this is more about our programs. So we have a lot of different programs that advocate for our various communities and summer programs to support emerging coders, our fellowship program, which is going to close within a week. So if you're interested in the fellowship, you can also apply there. If you feel like, maybe the PROS grant isn't right for you, then there's other ways to plug in. And yeah, Raphael will take it away now with our new iteration of the PROS software development grant.
Yeah, thank you, Suhyun, and welcome everybody once again. We are this year in the second year of this program. Last year was the inaugural year of the PROS grant. It was really a fantastic time, and I'm incredibly proud of all the work that our fellows grantees have done last year. And this year we're doing it again in 2025. This is a program that is going to run through the summer, all the way to the end of October, actually. We'll see the timeline later. Yeah, so the goal of this grant program, ostensibly, is to support the professional growth of early to mid-career developers through hands-on involvement in our open source projects. We also provide mentorship as well as a number of other activations during the program. And we have a theme each year. This year, the theme is building bridges with the intent to strengthen the connection between the various projects in the processing and P5JS ecosystem. We have a list of 3 projects that you will have to pick from if you want to apply for the grant. And oh wait, I wasn't entirely finished with that. I just wanted to mention, so the applications will open on May 1st and close on May 31st. There is a $10,000 stipend for each grantee. And yeah, it comes with mentorship throughout the program. And the expectation is of 200 hours over the course of the whole program. So yeah, next slide. So yeah, here's the first project, new P5.js mode for processing. This one is I'm very excited about. There is an existing P5.js mode, but it has some pretty strict limitations because it runs in a browser environment. The idea for this project is to build a native mode for P5.js inside of the processing Java environment using Node and Electron to give access to P5.js programs to all the underlying APIs that you can get through Node and Electron, as well as basically making P5.js a native part of the processing editor. That means things like exporting a P5.js app as a native desktop application would be possible, accessing the file system and things like that that are typically a little bit harder to do in a browser or sometimes impossible to do in a browser. So yeah, this is also kind of plugging into a lot of work that has been done on processing Java for the last year. And modes is sort of the frontier of the work that we're doing currently. And so this, if you work on this project, you'll be really contributing to the modernization work and the expansion work that we're doing and we've been doing on processing for the last year. Yeah, next one. Yes, there will be a recording of this session. So the second project, TypeScript migration for the P5.js editor. So this is something that's been requested heavily by the community, and we're excited to have it in prose this year. The project is not to do a complete migration to TypeScript for the P5.js editor, but to start this migration. It's already ambitious as it is. So yeah, so converting a portion of the editor to TypeScript, building up to this and yeah, I don't know that much about that one particular project, but if you have questions, you're welcome to ask them on the forum, and we'll have the mentor or the project lead for the P5 editor reply. So yeah, let's see the third project. Yes, snapshot testing for processing in P5.js. So this is a very interesting one as well. There is visual testing that exists in P5.js. It's a fairly recent development, and it's already really exciting the way it is. But we have been imagining taking this work and expanding it to become a modular visual testing system for both P5.js, but also processing, with the idea that you could easily plug in any rendering of a sketch and compare it with the previous version of that sketch from an earlier iteration of the library to compare whether, to see whether there's been visual regressions in the way that sketches are rendered. I hope that's clear. There's more information about each of these projects on the project list. And of course, again, you're very welcome to ask questions on the forum, and I'll do my best to answer or refer you to the mentors. Yeah. So here's the program timeline. So we are today, April 24th, the first info session. On May 1st, the application will open. We'll have a second info session on May 10th. This one will be earlier during the day. So for people for whom today right now is a bit late, they will have a chance to join. And the applications will close on May 31st. So mark your calendars if you're planning to apply. Also note that there's been some posts went out where we fumbled the timeline a little bit. So if you saw June 15th, that's not June 15th. It's May 31st. Mark your calendars. This is the right date. So the open call will be open for a month from May 1st to May 31st. It bears repeating. I'll keep repeating it. So yeah. The program will begin on June 30th. There will be some onboarding time. and the program will be running for 4 months until October 31st. During that period of time, you're expected as a grantee to put in 200 hours of work on your contributions on the specific projects that you will have applied for. This is an important mention. I should have said it when I was talking about the projects. You are applying for a specific project. So pick a project that you're excited about, because this is the one that you will be getting. If you're getting the grant, you will be getting the grant for that specific project. There's not really a way to shift or apply for two separate projects and then get selected. So this is specific to that program. I see a question in the chat that is answered in one of the following slides, so I'll answer it. I'll answer it then. Yeah, so another thing I wanted to say, it's not on that particular timeline, but we will be screening the applications that we're getting via like text applications, and then there will be an interview, short interview with finalists that we'll have shortlisted, and you will be informed of each step by email. We can move to the next one. So yeah, how do I apply? May 1st, applications open. The information will be available on the website at processingfoundation.org/grants. And yes, do make sure to send your application before the deadline. Make note as well of the time, that is one before midnight Eastern Standard Time. That's like the East Coast of the US time zone. So yeah, make sure to be clear about when you need to have a thing posted, and maybe post it, like a little bit before. Don't wait until the last minute. I know I do this every time. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. So next slide. The selection process, yes. So we'll be reviewing the applications together with a panel of reviewers that includes the mentors for each project, as well as some people from the foundation. And the evaluation criteria include how well you understand the project, your proposed approach, as well as how well it aligns with the mission of the foundation and potential impact on the community. That's a little bit actually maybe this one is more fellowship than grant, so forget what I said. But yeah, the impact on the community is already built into the project list. Yeah, and we'll have short interviews with the finalists on the week of June 16th. And it says top 16, that's also wrong. So yeah, sorry about that. That slide should have been edited a little bit better. I'll do it for the next info session. Okay. So yeah, what benefits do you receive? I've already said it, but $10,000 stipend, mentorship, and public-facing opportunities to showcase your work. Your names will be on the website, and every year we also post a wrap-up post about the work. Documentation of the project is also a big part of the grant. So we ask you to produce monthly reports on the work that you've done, and that also, like, through the interactions with your mentors, you also, like, there's accountability built into the program, but there's also documentation built into the program. It is an open source contribution grant, so the point is really also that the work that you're doing is not only benefiting the users, but also benefiting future contributors and people who are interested in seeing, like, how the software is built. So we really want to document things as well as possible. Like, that's what we try to do for all of our software projects. And yeah, there's also an alumni network that we're actually actively building right now and are going to continue to build through both our fellowship program, pros program, and other programs that we're running. We really want to actually do even more to connect our former grant recipients and fellows. This is, yeah, some work that is actively being done. We have a Discord and some other social platforms that we're trying to activate for that. Yeah, next. So how long? So it runs from June 30th to October 31st. During this time, 200 hours are expected from you, including the participation in your mentorship sessions. That's bi-weekly, I believe, and town halls that are monthly sessions with invited guests on various topics that are valuable to expand your mind beyond just technical things. We tried to, last year we had sessions on such thing as accessibility or archival, and yeah, I don't remember the other two, but yeah, that's like not strictly technical, but things that we think are important to know also for a developer. I think like broadening your horizons is something we're hoping for. Um, and yeah, next up. So yeah, that was a question that came up in the chat. For teams and collectives, we have a program that's the fellowship. So if you want to apply as a team for a project, and also if you have a project that you want to do that isn't like one of the three projects that we've listed for the pros grant, you can apply for fellowship, and you have, I believe, until the end of the month. Is that right? Because I'm not organizing the fellowship, so I don't know the timeline by heart, but yeah, so you can go to the fellowship page and apply for a fellowship either this year, or if it's too short, next year. And this is like the fellowship is you can propose a project within the theme of the year, and you can also apply as a team. But in the case of the pros grant, no. This is for individuals, individual developers, individual early to mid-career developers who would like an opportunity to build their skills together with some mentorship and a cohort. And yeah, that relationship with the mentor is something that we really want to develop, and that's also part of why it is for individual developers. We want to help you progress in your skills, in your career through that program. Yes, next up. And I see your questions in the chat. Keep them coming, and I'll just go through these, and any ones that we haven't replied to, I'll take in the Q&A. So yeah, to find more information of the program, you can go to processingfoundation.org/grant. You can also follow us on social media, processing.org. And either send you a question by email, but there's actually a better way, which is the forum, and that is in the resources. So if you have a question that is personal in a way that you don't feel comfortable sharing it on the forum, yes, send an email. But for everything, we try to keep it as public as possible, and that makes it easier also because you're likely to have similar questions, and so it will be easier to answer in public. All right. Next up. So yeah, who's eligible to apply? International applicants. You don't have to be in the United States. I'm not. I'm in Berlin. But yeah, so there are some limitations that are just legal limitations. For example, you need to have the legal right to work in the country that you reside in during the duration of for the whole duration of the program, and you cannot reside in a country that is under a U.S. embargo because the Processing Foundation is based in the U.S. Yeah, you need to be 18 years old or older, and only one application per person, and only individuals. Next up. Yeah, Q&A. Okay. So the link to the forum, it is in the resources tab, and I can also share it here. Well, that's the long link, but there's a tiny URL. I just don't have it handy. Will the application questions be posted online before May 1st? No, on May 1st we will open the application form, and you'll have a month to look through it. And yeah, there's no bonus for being the first to apply, and there's no there's no issue with being the last. We're not going to review your applications based on the order that they came in. So yeah, take your time to familiarize yourself with the questions and answer to the best of your ability. But yeah, no, we haven't planned to post the questions in advance. Does getting this grant make you ineligible for the art fellowship later? No, that's a good question. We haven't really discussed this in the past. That hasn't come up, and I wouldn't think so. If that policy changes for any reason, that will be publicly, we'll announce it publicly. But I can't imagine that we'd have a reason to do that. How to increase your chance of getting selected? How do I get in touch with the mentor for each project? We're not sharing the contact of the mentors. I wouldn't recommend contacting the mentors directly because like we try to be respectful of their time, but please ask your questions on the forum. And if it's relevant to involve the mentor, then I will forward the question to them and post their answer. I think that's a healthier way to do it because we don't want people to start spamming the mentors with questions in their DMs or email. Um, so yeah, and same public, like have the questions in public. I'm trying to scroll back up because we had people asking questions earlier. How many grants total? There are 3 projects, 3 grants this year. So that's an easy answer. Um, other grant, yeah, that one we answered. Okay, I think I have. Will the interviews be taken in May or June? Well, that was answered as well. Week of June 16th. How to increase your chance of getting selected? How to increase your chance of getting selected? Make a good application. One thing I should say, because like yeah, that's kind of a joke. Obviously, like what is a good application? Take time to research the project that you want to apply for. I don't only mean the project in the list of projects. I also mean the project it's connected to, either processing or P5JS. Look at our repositories, look at the open issues, maybe try to build a project locally if that is relevant. I think that's relevant for all of them. So look at the contributing documentation, get familiar with the community, both the contributor community, your user community. Um, uh, Use the software, get a sense for what it's good at, where things might not work as expected. Just get a feel for the project, and yeah, and try like ask questions. It's totally fine to go to the forum and ask questions. That actually is a good sign. Interact with our community. Don't yeah, just like look at how how people behave in the community, and also look at our code of conduct. That's also important. Each project has a code of conduct. Processing does, P5JS does. There's tons of documentation, more than you can read probably in the time before the end of the application. But yeah, be strategic about what you look at. And if you have questions on where to get started, of course, do ask, but proactively go and consult all the documentation that we have put together, because we put a lot of effort in it so that you have the answers to most questions already written somewhere. I know that sometimes it can be challenging to find where the answer is, but yeah, just spend a little bit of time first before you ask. And okay, so are there specific requirements, programming skills needed besides processing P5JS, or just enough? So good question. If you look at the project list, you'll see there are like I don't remember how we called it. Let me check. Um, we called it desired skills. So it's not required skills, it's desired skills. So for each project, there is a list of desired skills that would be nice. But please do not feel like you have to have all the skills to apply. It's also like the goal of this grant is also for you to grow as a developer. Um, so yeah, there is like some level of skill is required, but yeah, please don't hesitate to apply. And in general, I mean that's more like advice for life, but always apply. You never know. Even if you think you don't qualify, at least in the worst case, it might put you on the radar of the people running the program, running the grant, running the job application, and they might remember your name for some other thing later. So even if you don't get it, even if you don't get the interview, it's never wasted time to apply. Okay, so next question. Is it possible to attend this program while having another full-time job? Probably not. 200, like, 200 hours over 4 months. It's not a full-time gig, but it still is like kind of one day a week. So you do need to have some time for it. And we're not in the business of getting you burnt out on open source contributions. So probably I wouldn't recommend that. Um, I saw Sonia, you you gave a different answer, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's difficult to do both. Um, but maybe that's my European vibe. In the US, I know people have like multiple full-time jobs. I don't even know how that works. So, would this be appropriate for someone to apply who has relatively new experience developing coding R and Python only? What are the expected qualifications? Yeah, I think I kind of answered that. Do apply. Um, what are you generally looking for in applications? So, a few things. First, like a really good understanding of the project that is in the project list that you have selected, showing that you've done some research, that you understand what the issues are. One thing that we haven't seen a lot in applications recently on any program that is a big plus is to challenge the brief as well. Like you don't have to just follow exactly what you think we want. Like show that you have applied some critical thinking and maybe we got it wrong. Like maybe the solution that we're proposing isn't the one that we should do. And you don't have to stick to exactly what the project says. If you think you know better, please do challenge us and tell us like, actually, I think be kind about it, but actually, I think that there might be a better approach or propose different options. Like just show that you thought about it. I think that's the most important thing. The other thing that I should say, and is also listed on the on our wiki for the program, I'm just uh, uh, sending you the link there. Oh no, I need to scroll back up again. Is we have a policy about using LLMs, aka AI, for applications. We can't prevent you from doing it, but we really recommend that you rather not. It doesn't help you as much as you think it does. We're not evaluating you on how well written your application is. We're evaluating you on how well you're thinking, and those tools don't think very well. They can be useful for some things, but really they're really only as useful as your own understanding of the problem that you're trying to solve with them. And so really if that's like that doesn't help you, that makes the review process harder for us because it comes across as spam, and obviously don't lie about stuff, whether by yourself or with AI help. That really helps nobody, and actually that might, that might harm your reputation. I'm sure you're all way too smart for that. So none of you is going to do it. But we've seen a lot of applications recently that look like they're entirely AI generated, and it is just frustrating for everybody involved, and it doesn't help you at all. So it just adds noise to the process and makes it harder for us to pay attention to proposals that were genuinely written by people who care. So yeah, just don't do that. Um, all right. Let me see. What is the requirement for each project? I already replied to this one. Okay. What programming languages do we need to know to be eligible? Again, it's like we have those desired skills, but they are not requirements. So there isn't like a particular language. But processing is mainly written in Java and a little bit of Kotlin now. And P5.js is JavaScript. The P5 editor is also JavaScript. But if you know TypeScript, that's also a plus because the project is about porting parts of it to TypeScript. For questions, should we refer to the forum or Discord? Please ask your questions on the forum and specifically on the forum thread that we've listed in the resources. This one forum link. The forum link is in the resources tab. If you click on the button that says resources, you should have access to it. If it's not in there or if you can't find it, let me know and we'll post the link. P5 uses HTML and JavaScript, processing-based Java. Yes. Thank you, Aaron. So is the project list posted yet? Yes, it is. I don't. Where did you see coming soon? If it's on the website, we should update it. Thanks for the heads up. But yes, it is. It is out there on the wiki, on the P5 the pros wiki. there any template proposal? No, we haven't. We haven't given template proposals. Also, there isn't like you can upload a document, but it's mostly going to be based on your answers to the form. We try to keep the answers short enough that it makes the review process a little bit easier, and also that it doesn't take you too much time to put your application together. So yeah, keep your answers within the boundaries, the bounds of the word limit, but try to, yeah, just focus on quality rather than quantity. What's the application process? There will be a Google form that you can apply with. If you'd rather not use a Google form, or you don't have a Google account and you don't want a Google account, then you can also apply by email. And in that case, there's a link that will be in the will be on the Medium post and the application instructions on the website. That gives you access to that's not a template, it's the form just in PDF format. Okay. Found the project list. Is the TypeScript project focused on migrating source code or TS, or is it also a goal to add TypeScript functionality to the editor itself for users? That's a great question. I would recommend that you read the project description and project list, because it's a bit longer than the one that we showed, but also that you ask on the forum so that the project lead and mentor can answer, because that's the project I know the least about. Would a portfolio be part of the application, or is it more about what you write in your application? It's more about what you write. There will be, you should include a resume as well, and you can include another document if you want, or add to the document. Did we put a separate document? I forgot. I have to look at the form again, but you'll see that there. And yeah, if you want to include a a portfolio, please do. That's totally welcome. Yeah, that's all the questions I saw. Are there questions in the Q&A panel as well? It looks like there might be. Can you apply for this fellowship if you've been a processing fellow in the past? Yes. All of this information can be found in links in the resource tabs. Yes, most of it. Does the 200-hour include documentation and other time given to the fellowship? Yes. Oh, hi, computational mama. Are there any skills needed besides programming, processing, and P5 to be eligible? Potentially, like if you have experience with Git and GitHub, that is a plus, because that's what we're using for all of our projects. And yeah, documentation is good. If you have some design skills, it's good. But it's like none of this is required. But well-rounded applicants with other skills than just pure technical programming skills are very welcome to apply. Please do. And you can also look at the projects from last year's to get a sense of what kind of people were were in the program. Not to say that you have to be like them to be selected, but you can see what the projects were, what the outcome was. And I'm thinking about it because some of them also had like kind of hybrid profiles, a little bit of code, a little bit of design, and that was really nice. For some of the projects, it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, is it possible to take part in this while full time? Okay, well, from a legal point of view, yeah, I guess it does. You answered your own question, Miki. It probably depends on your local on the laws where you reside, as mostly full time is going to be a problem in terms of time management, I would say, rather than legal from our end. Is there any template? Okay, we had that one in the chat. Are there feedback rounds like the processing summer of code cycle? We don't really have the capacity for doing feedback rounds. I would love to try and do that. I will try to see how Kit did it for GSOC this year, and see if that's something we can manage with the mentors. But we want to avoid asking more time from the mentors than what we're paying them to do. So that's kind of the balance I'm trying to strike there. I want to provide as much feedback as possible to make sure you apply with all the information that you need, but also respect the time of the mentors. So at the moment, no. but I'll consider it. We'll try to see what we can do. If I have a question, would it be okay to ask it in the thread reply on the forum, like link you gave? Yes, that's the whole. Yes, Joy. Please do. That's what the forum thread is for. So please ask your question there, and I will do my best to reply. I might not reply immediately, but I will try to reply in batches to your questions. What does a typical week on the program look like? Do we have regular check-ins, code reviews with the mentors? Yeah, that's the idea. So last year we had the meetings with the mentors. At least we asked for at least every 2 weeks, and that's something that you will define with your mentor at the beginning of the program. So we're not enforcing anything except the at least every 2 weeks, and there is an evaluation at the midpoint of the program as well as at the end. And you also have to produce a written report that is posted to the pros repository. And actually, if you want to see you can see the reports from last year if you're interested. Can meetings be async? That's a good question. Ideally, I think it's better. Like since it's just you and the mentor, I think that it should be possible. If there are some specific reasons, if it's an accessibility issue or some other reason why you can't be in a meeting on camera, let us know and we'll see what we can do. But I would really rather prefer that you have live meetings with the mentor. And then we also encourage the cohorts to meet together. Last year, we didn't really enforce this. I think this year we'll try to be a bit more hands-on with that the week that you're not meeting the mentors, you're meeting your cohort, like your fellow grantees. Yeah. Okay, are we... yeah, so I didn't fully answer the whole typical week thing, but yeah, yeah, you might either have a meeting with your fellow grantees or a meeting with your mentor working on the code. You can have async code reviews on GitHub. And once a month you'll have there will be a town hall that's usually on a Saturday. So yeah. Any questions left? Thank you for all your questions. They're all brilliant, and that's really helpful for to make sure that we've defined everything as best as possible. If there's anything that's still unclear or didn't answer enough details, please do ask on the forum. That also makes sure that we'll have a trace of those questions and answers as well. At what times do those mentor meetings take place? That's something you'll have to define with the mentor yourself. Like, yeah, that you'll have to figure out like what time works best based on which time zone you're in and which time zone the mentor is in. So yeah, are previous contributions in processing necessary? They're not necessary, but if that is helpful for you to understand the project, you don't have to make a pull request, and please don't just like make a pull request because you think it's going to help your application. If you don't do the research and you don't really understand the project well and you make a pull request out of nowhere, it actually will harm your application more than it will help. So we welcome new contributors. Please do feel free to come to us, ask questions, check out the open issues, especially the good first issues, look at the roadmap, look at the documentation. But yeah, do a bit of research before, look at the contributing document for processing and P5.js. Like I said, like do a little bit of research first, and then please do feel free to engage on the issues, ask questions, ask clarifications. Yeah, yes, thank you. Steph answered already, but yeah, it's fully remote for the whole program. When will we know what we are finally selected for the program? Yes, that's a good question. So let me bring up my timeline. So yeah, the interviews, yeah, happening from 16th to 22nd of February, and will inform the selected grantees on the week of June 23rd. So, and then there's like the onboarding period, which is like from June 30th to kind of July 7th, the first week of July will be a transition time, like this time to onboard. But yeah, that's the timeline. Okay. Is there any diversity selection to, I'm not sure what the question means, but we're giving equal opportunities to everyone, regardless of their own identity, background, religion, sexuality, etc. So yeah, that's I hope that answered the question. Um, yeah. I think unless we have more questions, I think we can get to wrapping up. That was great. Yeah, thank you. Good luck with your applications. In a large-scale project, how to open it, given how open-ended software dev can be, where multiple solutions are valid, how technically accurate our proposals need to be. I think you can totally say that. Like, as I mentioned, like feel free to challenge the brief. They're intentionally sort of open, but also I guess it depends on the project. Yeah, they can be ambitious. If you think the scope is too big and you have some good arguments that you want to make about that, please do so in your application. That is very welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks everybody for joining. That was lovely. I really enjoyed all your questions. Genuinely, that was fun. And yeah, please tell if whether you want to apply or you know someone. Maybe you think like, oh well, that's not for me. But maybe you know someone. Maybe there's somebody around you who might really enjoy this opportunity. So please feel free to send them the information about the program and encourage them to apply. That's sometimes all it takes for somebody who may not have considered it before to consider an opportunity like this. And yeah, don't feel like you have to meet certain specific criterias. Please do apply, and yeah, we'll review. We'll be very happy to review your application. So yeah, make your applications personal. Do your research, and yeah, we'll be delighted to look at your applications. I'll see you on the forum. And Sonia, I don't know if you have any closing words you want to say.
Oh my God, that was amazing, Raphael. Thank you so much for answering so many questions, a slurry of amazing questions on the chat. Yeah, I wish you all luck on your applications, and yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Yay.
Thanks, everybody. We'll have the recording for this session available as soon as it's processed, and we'll post it in places where you're likely to find them.
Thank you.